Welcome to another edition of The Local Show here on Grassroots Community Network. I'm Erik Skarvan, your host. Thanks for joining us this week, guys, where each week we feature inspirational locals. We are now entering the dog days of summer. And I'm really happy and honored to have a repeat guest. He's one of my buddies. He's an Olympian. He's the founder of the Chris Klug Foundation. I think that just gave it away. He's also a local real estate professional. I want to welcome back Chris Klug. We got the long shank here today. Good thing we both have long arms.
Exactly.
Got the orangutan arm out there to welcome you back. So thanks for being here today.
You bet.
You're a busy guy.
It's a summer tradition. I love catching up with you.
Yeah, it's so great. I mean, it's one of the few times, maybe except for outside of sitting on our bicycles, where we get to see each other.
We need to do some more of that, by the way.
Too. We need to do
this
that.
work thing seems to be getting in the way a little bit.
Well, you know, it's just you get into certain times, right? And we have, you know, serious careers, both of us. And, you know, sometimes you just got to redouble your efforts. And, you know, if you love what you do, you know, you don't mind doing that. I don't mind, you know, the work sometimes I do till 9 or 10 at night. I'm sitting at my computer a lot, and luckily a lot of that is computer style or marketing type things I can do in the evening. But yeah,
I used to scratch my head at people that would get up early and train at 5 or 6 in the morning and ski mountaineer or ride their bikes or go climbing, and that's me now.
Right.
I mean, with 2 little kids, I came to the realization very quickly that if I didn't train or go out and exercise early in the morning, I'd get done with work and jump on my bike or my snowboard at 4 or 5 o'clock, or my split board in the evening, and then I'd miss my kids.
Right.
So
right.
That's me now, early in the mornings.
Well, let's talk about that. I was thinking of starting out with something else, but you mentioned your kids. You've got Bali and River.
Yeah,
and
2 kids.
How old are they now?
My daughter, Bali, is 7, and my son is 4.
7 and 4, okay.
I just shipped them off to Oregon for 2 weeks to go visit my wife Missy's family, her parents in Central Oregon. So
nice.
I'm a bachelor the next 2 weeks. So
oh man, well,
I'm going to work even harder and ride my bike even more.
Right. There you go. We're definitely getting together then.
Exactly.
But I wanted to start with that because you had over 20 years on the World Cup circuit.
Yeah.
Olympian. You actually won a bronze medal in Salt Lake City, 2002. What are some of the lessons from that experience, from your high-level competition, that you pass on to your kids?
Well, it's, you know, I tell my son every time he goes skiing, or my daughter, and they're both good little skiers. I'm a snowboarder and I have a house full of skiers.
Yeah, what's up? Missy skis too, right?
She's a good skier and boarder, but
well, hey, you know,
if it's powder, she takes out a snowboard, and if it's groomer, she takes out skis. So
okay,
I don't know what that says, but
yeah. So that means you need to cross over and be skier.
I ski.
So you both do both. Okay.
Skis are for uphilling. Snowboarding is for downhill.
Okay. Well,
I break out skis a couple times a year for America's Uphill and for the ski mountaineer, the Power of 4.
When it's required.
Yeah.
There you go.
Otherwise, I'm on my split board or snowboard. But
there you go.
You know, I think I always say to my kids, the 2 lessons in skiing and boarding is be safe and have fun.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm trying to expose them to as many things as possible right now, arts and activities and sports and athletic opportunities, and we'll just see what they gravitate towards. And I don't know, I'm still new at this whole dad thing and trying to figure it out, but I think I just want them to be exposed to lots of different things, be as well-rounded as they can, and see what they become passionate about.
Right.
But to really answer your question, I think athletics teaches you a lot of grit and perseverance. It teaches you how to deal with success, but also failures, and not getting to the finish line and not getting on the podium or the result that you want. So it sounds cliche, but I think it's a real metaphor for life.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's okay not to win every time.
Right.
And how you deal with that. And so often when we do come up short, you take away more from that sometimes than you do the victory.
Right.
But I do find, you know, I've heard that a lot of, you know, Wall Street financial companies or hedge fund companies or whatever it is, I've heard this in all different sectors of business, that many CEOs will only hire Division I athletes or you know, Olympic caliber athletes or whatever it is, just because the mental toughness, the perseverance, the lessons that you learn from athletics. There's so many parallels between elite level athletics or competitive athletics and business and life. And I think it was the greatest training grounds ever for me, and a big part of why I am having success in real estate and sales and marketing is not only was I out there, you know, on the slopes competing, but also I had to wear all these different hats.
Right.
And go out and solicit sponsors and raise funds so I could pursue my Olympic dreams.
Right.
And selling yourself is far harder. You know, I mean, yes, I was in snowboarding, and in this town that's a big thing, but across America, you know, winter sports, people aren't as familiar with them. And so if I could, you know, sell sponsorship for not only a snowboarder, but a snowboard racer, and now I'm selling one of the greatest products in the world, you know, luxury real estate in Aspen and Snowmass in the Roaring Fork Valley, it's much easier than what I used to do.
Right, but all those lessons are so valuable. And in time, you know, they're still young. You know, they'll get more and more of those lessons.
Yeah.
And the work ethic that goes into being an athlete. I mean, you discipline yourself to get out there every day. You show up, you do the work, you have success and failure. All that crosses over to business, sales aspects, marketing aspects. So all kinds of great lessons.
And it's fun. You know, I think I was good at snowboarding because I loved what I was doing.
Yes.
I really enjoyed it. So
That's the key.
again, the cliche that you never work a day in your life if you enjoy what you're doing.
Right.
And I'm really having fun now, and as a result, having some success. So I think that's important.
Well, I've been having fun, and I've been having some success thanks to my underwriters, and I got to thank yourself and
you bet.
Klug Properties. We're going to take a quick break, you guys. I do want to thank all my underwriters for making this summer series happen. June, July, August, September. In addition to Klug Properties, Aspen Square, the Aspen Times, Aspen Animal Hospital, Pitkin County Landfill, and Sundog Athletics. We'll be right back in 2 minutes with Olympic bronze medalist Chris Klug. We've got a lot of athletics to talk about. The Lake Christine Fire, we're still going to touch on that too. And lots of cool things coming up this summer, so don't go away. We're back here on the local show. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. Each week here on Grassroots Community Network, now in high definition. Buddy, that's pretty big time for a small local
Yeah,
TV
but I
station.
didn't do a great job on my makeup.
I know. Well, that's why we hired the makeup artist. Had you in there all day, basically, up to the taping of the show.
They had their work cut out for them.
I know. It already shows every little detail now, so we got to be careful. And, man, I'm actually showering before the shows now.
That's
really taking it to the highest level.
That's what it took.
That's that work ethic we were talking about before the break. Get in there, take that shower, and get your research done, Eric.
Exactly.
So speaking of doing research, getting the job done, you've had a very successful real estate business for almost 10 years now, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, okay, good. See, my research is paying off.
Did your homework.
Let's talk about that a little bit because, like you said, just before the break, you know, you get to sell the most amazing place and product on the planet, which is really the Aspen lifestyle, the mind, body, spirit, all the things that Aspen offers. I guess on that, kind of dovetailing from that, what are the things that you love most about your job?
Well, I come home often and I say to my wife, I say, you wouldn't believe who was in my car today.
Okay.
Some of the most interesting people, some of the brightest, most talented people in the world.
Right.
And I don't know the first thing about their area of expertise, but I'm pretty good at Aspen Snowmass real estate.
Yes.
And so it's really fun to get to hear the stories. And I think a really important part of sales is not just, you know, sharing the information and the insight and your experience and knowledge and passion. It's also shutting up and listening to what's your client really saying. And when you do get a chance to hear some of the stories of the people you get to work with, they're pretty amazing. It's really fun. And you know what? You get to be a part of one of the biggest events of their lives.
Yeah.
And also one of the most stressful events of their lives. They say next to, you know, death and divorce and taxes, buying and selling real estate is one of the most stressful events in someone's life. And, you know, I get a chance to help people across all price points and really help them either close a chapter on their life and move on to the next step, whether it's maybe somebody that's older that's downsizing, or maybe somebody that's scratching and clawing to get into the Aspen School District or buy their very first Hunter Creek studio, just like I did in 1998.
I remember that.
You know, you get to be a part of a huge event in somebody's life, and you can really help them if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Make that less stressful, make that, you know, a smoother process for them. And oftentimes you make great friends in the process.
Right.
You know, most of my clients are my really good friends today,
Right.
And we get a chance to wine and dine and ski and board and bike, and so you create or develop a really special relationship oftentimes with your clients, and I try to have a lot of fun doing it.
That's incredible. We've got a piece that elaborates on that. It's a profile on yourself. So I don't think we really need to describe that. I think it's self-explanatory. So we're going to go to the clip right now.
Sounds good.
I really like that profile there, Chris, because it talks about, the Olympics. It talks about your foundation. It's a really well-rounded, I think, description and highlights of your life. And it shows you coming up and speaking to your clients. It looks like you and Missy had just like skied and snowboarded in. And, that really is, I think, exemplary of what you were talking about.
Yeah, I think you're not just selling a home. You're not just selling the bricks and sticks. You're selling a lifestyle. You're selling a quality of life.
Right.
And like you said, I think one of the biggest things that differentiates Aspen from any other resort community or alpine resort is, yes, we have phenomenal access to the outdoors and to wilderness, to natural areas.
Yes.
And incredible terrain and more acreage than most resorts, and uncrowded by design. But we also have these incredible cultural opportunities.
Yes.
And what other town of 6,500 or 2,500 in Snowmass has the offering that we have, on the music front, on the arts front, on the culinary fronts? Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I don't think it's out there. I mean,
No,
you travel the
either.
world. I've traveled the country. I've done a lot of bike racing around the country, even into the Midwest, west of here, Utah, California, a lot of those ski resorts. To have the well-rounded nature, no pun intended, of Aspen.
That's true.
But to be able to go to world-class show
Oh, yeah.
at the Wheeler Opera House, after you've had world-class sushi at Matsuhisa, after you've had a world-class bike ride up and down Independence Pass,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the best of the best.
True.
We go skiing at 4 ski areas with no lift lines. And then again, just this overall kind of umbrella of mind, body, spirit. So you get to be their guide, introduce them to that. Put them in the structure, sure, but it's also the introduction to the lifestyle, which is priceless. Not to be, too corny about it, but that's
No,
amazing.
it's a privilege. I mean, you're in the same boat, getting to guide and help people experience this incredible outdoor lifestyle that you and I enjoy, and it's a lot of fun to share it.
It's amazing. Well, we're going to shift gears a little bit. You were just at the hospital. Luckily, it wasn't because of your injury. No, let's not go there. But you were visiting at Children's Hospital last week. And, can you describe that visit a little bit to us?
Well, it was actually an amazing weekend last weekend. We went down on Saturday with about 12 friends that did the triple bypass.
Oh, nice.
And the triple bypass is not at the hospital.
Not the surgery.
On our bikes.
Yeah, thankfully.
Is 120, I think it is, mile bike ride from Evergreen, Colorado, in the foothills there.
Wow.
Excuse me, I'm
Up
in a little water here.
Up into the real mountains.
All the way to Avon. And
wow. Well, obviously over 3 different passes.
You do 3 big passes. And we did it with 12 friends from Chris Klug Foundation.
Nice.
That all helped raise awareness for organ donation.
Okay.
As well as, excuse me,
No worries.
as show what's possible after a transplant.
I'm gonna join you for a little. I've called it
Hydrate or die,
Aspen
right?
Tap. We like to say better than bottled.
Exactly. I'm drinking grassroots finest here. Excuse me.
Yeah, I hope you like that.
But we
style of
had
vodka.
one of our friends, Steve Ast, that's a 2-year heart transplant recipient that did the ride with us.
Wow.
Just 2 years out from getting a new heart.
Awesome.
Rode with our Chris Klug Foundation team, and again showed what's possible after a transplant, and helped inspire a lot of people that are going through the same thing I did. Next week on the 28th, July 28th, I celebrate. Well, actually this week, I celebrate 18 years since my life-saving liver transplant.
Wow.
So
Congratulations.
happy to still be here, and
Yeah.
and again, part of what I said with my business, it's a real privilege to not only be here, but to hopefully help inspire some other people that went through the same thing I did 18 years ago. And that was a part of our visit to Children's Hospital on Monday. We did the Donor Dash, a 5K around Wash Park, the largest organ donation awareness fun run in the country, with about 6,000 people that ran a 5K around Wash Park.
Awesome.
I did it with my whole family, and my son River, who's 4, did it on his scooter in front of John Gibbons and I and some other friends.
Nice.
And he ran the 5K. Towards the end, I was like, put both feet on the scooter. And I'm running and pushing him, and he loved it. It was so fun.
Oh, cool.
So we did the donor dash on Sunday, triple bypass Saturday, and then Monday went to Children's Hospital and met with the pediatric transplant patients in the dialysis ward.
Oh, boy.
And that was powerful. And you see these kids that are anywhere from 1st grade to 5th grade that are on kidney dialysis,
Yes.
awaiting kidney transplants.
Right.
And most of them all had big smiles on, and they were so excited to meet us, to say hello, and really courageous kids. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, I went through the transplant process when I was 27 years old, and I was scared to death. Here are these 1st to 5th graders that are going through a tough time right now and facing it head on with a lot of courage and optimism and big smiles. And I think I was as excited to meet them as hopefully they were to meet me. But it was a great opportunity.
I was going to say, I mean, you must be inspired beyond belief too.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I mean, they look at you and go, wow, this guy's been through all this. He's won an Olympic bronze medal after a life-saving liver transplant in your case. But then you look at them and you're like, wow, these beautiful young souls, they're able to deal with this and be champs themselves, champions.
And one young kid had the machine next to him that functioned as his heart.
Wow.
Because he was in need of a kidney transplant, but also a heart transplant. So he was on an artificial heart, pumping blood through his system and keeping him alive. And he was really a great kid. So. Yeah, it's neat. You know, we get to do some amazing things with our foundation. We're celebrating 16 years this fall. Getting ready for a big Leadville 100 with about 10 team members in a few weeks, and Power of 4 this weekend. So lots of exciting things ahead.
Well, congratulations on, you know, now 16 years in the Chris Klug Foundation.
Yeah.
So you're doing Power of 4.
I am.
You had done, though, when was the Silver Rush? Was that just a few weeks back?
That was early July.
Okay.
Yeah, right after the 4th of July. I think it might have been the 7th or 8th of July.
Earlier this month on the Silver
But
Rush.
I just missed the coin, so I was bummed about that.
What's that about?
Well, you know, they start the race, the Silver Rush, a 50-mile mountain bike race in Leadville with about a 250, 200-yard mad dash for cash.
Oh.
So it looks like the Oklahoma Land Rush with everybody lined up at the start and gunning for this archway where the time starts, and there's a man and a woman at the top holding gold coins, and the first male across the arch gets the gold coin and a free entry to the 100.
Are you biking up to that, or are you
sort
running
of
to your bike?
Pushing and carrying your bike up this steep hill, maybe 25 degrees or 25 degrees.
That's crazy.
Up to the start. And then you're doing a 50-mile bike ride. Yeah, so.
But first you got to dash for the cash, then you do the start.
And ended up third this year after winning it 3 times.
Okay.
Ended up third this year, so.
Okay.
It was bittersweet.
So you've got a lot of long rides in, and Power 4 is another.
Yeah, Power 4 will be a good one this weekend. 28, maybe?
28.
Yeah, but I think 10,000 vertical plus.
Okay.
So that'll be a good one.
So a lot of climbing there.
Yeah.
You're feeling pretty ready for that?
Yeah, as ready as a Clydesdale can feel, you know. I'm working too hard and being dad, and, you know, I don't exactly have the physique for bike racing, but I enjoy it. It's a great...
working dad Clydesdale.
Yeah.
They need to just... it's really a problem just with the categories. Is really what it's about. But that being said, it's really incredible. And actually that leads to another question. Like, how do you balance... Like, people are so busy these days. The family, the work, the training, and the racing. Just a couple tips for people, like how to create a healthy balance.
Well, I think you have to have a routine in place. I think you have to have good systems. Great help. I've got a really good team both on the foundation side with Lauren Pierce and CC Cunningham. They do an awesome job on really running CKF, and I try to come and offer some support and leadership and more of a vision rather than micromanaging every situation.
Right.
Same on the real estate front. I've got a great team that helps me with that, and I think being able to delegate and focus more on the big picture and a little bit more in a role with, you know, vision and leadership. And I think, you know, you got to have some great systems in place. You can't 2x, 4x, you know, 10x your business and not run around with your head cut off unless you got some good systems in place.
Right, so you got to be super organized.
Absolutely.
You got to have great people around you.
Exactly.
You got to be able to delegate and work as a team. So
you got a better answer than I do. That's exactly
support,
right.
I'm just trying to summarize.
That's exactly
all that
right.
support around you,
Yeah.
though. And also discipline, because if you want to squeeze that in, like you said earlier in the show, you might get up at 5 and get that needed exercise in, where some people aren't really willing to do that.
Sleep's overrated. You sleep when you're dead.
Sleep when you're dead, yeah, when you're 6 feet under. But at the end, if they wait till the end of the day, in all seriousness, sometimes you're too tired to go exercise at 5 or 6 o'clock. So I like that knocking it out in the morning. That's a good.
And I was never a morning
part of
person.
that.
I really had to become one.
Right.
If I wanted to continue to, be healthy and fit and push myself, but yet still, do the volume I am with business and have good quality time with my family.
And really good coffee helps.
Green tea, matcha.
Oh, okay.
That's what I do.
That's what you like?
Yeah.
See, I like my organic coffee bean. I grind it every morning.
Oh, perfect.
We're already down to just a couple minutes, but I want to talk about, well, we know the Leadville 100 is coming up.
Yes.
So let's just touch on that really briefly. Goals for the Leadville 100. I think you've had a goal for a while.
I've done it 8 years in a row, 8:03 to about 8:40.
On your time.
And last year I had a good race at 8:15. I'd love to break 8 hours. Not easy for me at my size, and that seems to be eluding me, but I'm going for sub 8 hours again.
And obviously the awareness for the Chris Klug
That's
Foundation, because you bring your team there. It's about raising awareness for organ donorship.
Yeah, we try to raise some funds for Chris Klug Foundation and for the outreach efforts that we do all across the country, 75 plus events each year.
Wow.
And try to raise awareness in everything that we do.
Right.
So that's a big part of it.
Ooh. Okay, one more question, buddy. You got to earn the cookies, though.
That's a lot of cookies. You're not going to help me get sub 8 hours in Leadville eating those. I know, this is all your fault if I get 8:05.
Okay, so working dad, Clydesdale, who eats cookies category.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Again, it's all about the category.
If someone asks me how I do, I say, well, for a 45-year-old organ transplant recipient who works, full time, I did pretty well.
You got to qualify it.
Yeah.
Did you have fun on the show today?
So much fun.
You earned your
always good catching up with you,
buddy.
It goes too fast.
I know it goes too fast.
Thanks, Eric.
Well, you make it fun.
Yeah, we always have a good conversation. Lots to talk about.
Yeah, we do. Thanks, Chris Klug.
I'm going to open up my goodies here.
There's a surprise in there for you this time too.
I like it.
And thank you guys for watching us this week on The Local Show.